Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Monday afternoon video, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe right now to this very channel. My other channels down below in the description box, And as always, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, share the video all over the internet. And tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, you're SOL. You better know what that means. Or Stone Cold Steve Austin will kick your ass and give you a Stone Cold Stunner. What? I said Stone Cold Stunner. What? Okay. So that's pretty much it. And for our newbies out there, welcome to the party. Grab yourself a tasty cold one and enjoy the show. Well, it's 3/16 days, so grab yourself a beer in honor of Stone Cold. Or you can get some whiskey at the bar, whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. But sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, get out of here. But you'll stay because you got nobody else to watch. I mean, you do, but you just love to watch me and, you know, play with yourselves because you can't play with your girlfriends or whoever. But it is what it is. That's that. Alright. The big fancy intro, because I do have to run out in a little bit, do some errands, and I'll be back a little bit later on my Peter Joseph channel with your official AEW Revolution review, and then we'll try to get to we'll get to Monday Night Raw, and then after Monday Night Raw, your TNA and double Ring of Honor review, because I did a special Friday show this week, so double your Ring of Honor for that ass, if you will. But it is what it is. But we got Monday Night Raw tonight. Should be a great show. Big time show. We got Roman, our tribal chief. Put up your ones, motherfuckers, and acknowledge him. Roman's on the show. Beastie. Brock Lesnar's on the show. Punk will be on the show in the same building. Woo! Big time show tonight. Big time. We got, AJ Lee, that ass, defending the Women's Intercontinental title against the #1 contender, Bayley. Give me a hug. We got that, Maxine Dupree, and Natalya once again. See how that goes. See if Maxine Dupree doesn't get a concussion after what happened the last time they fought. Oh, ran into the ring post. Doing. Oh, she's out. Let's see what happens with that. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour cure for insomnia, and that's Monday Night Raw. Well, we got that. But before we get to Raw, let's talk about Smackdown. It is time for your Smackdown review, which is late and out of date. But it is what it is. Alright, this is from Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees Day. So, hopefully you didn't see Jason, and if you did, you're screwed. And that's pretty much it. But good show on Friday, and it emanated from the PHX Arena in hot as fuck Phoenix, Arizona. Excuse me. On that. And as always on Friday night, Smackdown, our commentary team of Joe Tessitore and my good buddy Bad News Wade Bennett. And I'm afraid, Joe, I got some bad news for you. And that's pretty much it. By the way, I want to say, Apple, your iPhones suck. I'm having problems with my main phone. People can't hear me. I don't understand why. I gotta get an upgrade, or actually a new phone. So I'm gonna hopefully get one in the next couple weeks, maybe another month or two. But I will be getting a new phone. But much better though. Much better and hopefully a little bit bigger. The one I have is like, you've seen it. It's like rinky dink. It's like it's from 1985. But it's time. I don't get an upgrade till next year, but the phone is kind of wearing down and shit, so I tried to go fix it, but couldn't fix it. Now I have to see if I can try to go to the Apple store, maybe get a replacement while they fix it, which costs $70 to $100, which is a pain in the ass. When I kind of need a phone because I have doctor appointments, people call me, doctors call me. I got friends call me. Mrs. might call me. She goes out. I gotta worry about my mom and dad and everything. Crazy. So, Apple and iPhones, kiss my ass. That's the way it is. Alright, enough about that. That's your rant for today. Alright, so let's get to Smackdown. Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett on the call. Pretty decent show, and that's that. So we start off with a recap of Cody winning the belt last week from Papucho Drew McIntyre, thanks to Jacob Batu. All gas, no brakes. So, Drew, pretty much not a happy camper. See what happens with him and Cody, beginning his third reign as champ. And nobody cares. Now he's got to worry about Randy Orton at Mania. That's going to be on night 1. We got that. Alright, so Nick Aldis is looking over the contract, because we have a contract signing between Cody and Randy. And then Drew storms into the arena. He's pissed. He wants Nick Aldis to come out right now and make things right. Nick Aldis does what he does, and he comes out and says, I can't do nothing, to correct what you did, and you need to be held accountable for your actions, taking out the referee, stuff like that. So Drew, who is on the announce table, gets in the ring, calls Nick Aldis a corporate stooge, who had to get the title back on his corporate champion, meaning Cody. Kind of like the authority angle with Seth, So Nick's not having that, and he tells Drew, well, now you're going to face... Well, take that back. He says, it's clear why you didn't want to give Cody a shot, because when you did, he won the title. And then Jacob comes out and says, you should be thanking me because I helped you get the title, and now I kind of made a mistake and fucked you over, by giving it to Cody. And then Jacob's like, you can point all the fingers you want, Drew, but I'm the one who did what I did, cost you the belt, and what are you going to do about it? So Drew's like, well, I don't have to take this from you or you, Nick Aldis. And he goes, I quit. When he walks out, everybody's like, what? Oh, he ain't quitting. Because we see him later. We move on with that. Alright, Solo, me bookie, and the MFTs all happy with what's going on. And Solo and Coolio are going to be in a tag match against Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan. But Tama Tonga stays back with the Lantern. And then Shinsuke Nakamura comes in. We've been seeing him over the last couple weeks with Tama. And asks him, when are you going to be your own man? Get away from these guys. Be with your old buddy, from Japan. So Tama thinks about it for a little bit. And then Solo comes back and threatens Shinsuke. So I was thinking we're going to see Shinsuke versus Solo, but Solo's going to match. So probably see that next week, maybe. I don't know. We get that. Alright, then we go further in the back. Jacob is pissed off that Drew quit. Tries to get Nick Aldis, to fix everything. And then Trick Willie Shamoon and his lemon pepper steppers. He comes in and says, I'm the only person who can whoop that ass and take the title from Cody. I wish. But then, and then there's some tension, and Nick Aldis makes a match between Trick and Jacob. Trick is like, he panics a little bit, and then he threatens Nick Aldis with getting fired. You should be fired. He should. Let him go back home and hang out with his hot wife, Mickie James. And their son, but I digress. Alright, get that. Alright, then we had Solo de Coolio taking on Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy. It was a pretty good match, but then what was going to happen. The rest of the MFTs and the rest of the Wyatts come out. They start brawling. Nikki Cross takes back the Lantern for Uncle Howdy to hit Sister Abigail on Solo. 1, 2, 3 to get the win. Great. And then as Uncle Howdy gets the Lantern back, Tama Tonga comes in, hits the cutthroat driver, the spirit gun, basically, lays out Uncle Howdy, takes back the lantern. Ugh. The feud in the never end. It goes on and on, my friend. End the feud already. It's boring. We need new tag team champions. Sad. It's sad. That the Smackdown tag team division is worse than the Raw tag team division. The whole tag team division in WWE is garbage. Even the women's tag team division. It's sad saying that. Sad. But at least we know who the new tag team champions will be. Oscar and Kyrie. Kyrie and Io. Kyrie and Io. What? Kyrie and Io. What? Okay. We move on with that. Alright, R-Fool and Poppy Priest are watching after that, and R-Truth thinks the MFTs on the Judgment Day. Anyway, Poppy Priest says it's all about the titles. Because they're the new #1 contenders. So we think. I guess they are because they won the gauntlet match. And then Los Lobos come in, those Gauzas come in and say, well, we're the reason you guys won. Yeah, you lost, so... okay. So Poppy's all ready for a fight. So we get a tag team match player. Teddy Long comes out. We're gonna have a tag team match player. And if you don't like it, you're gonna go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Pretty much. Alright, so tag team match coming up a little bit later in the show. Alright, then we go to Kathy Kelly with the lovely Kiana James and my girl Julia, the Women's United States Champion. Julia laughs off the idea of if Tiffy Stratton winning the Women's US title, which has been rumored that they're going to fight at Mania. I don't like Julia losing to Tiffy and Tiffy winning a trinket belt, a mid-card belt. I'd rather her face Jade again later on in the year. Maybe a Backlash or Clash in Italy. Maybe by SummerSlam. She don't need a trinket belt. I'm sorry. She don't need the mid-card belts. Which barely get defended these days. Barely. Right, Julia? That's what I'm saying. 2 times now, Hunter! 2 times! She's been champ 2 times! How many times has she defended it? 1. As far as I know, 1 in his second reign. 1. That's horrible. What are you doing with Julia? What are you doing? Again! She hasn't fought anybody credible. Now you're going to give her Tiffy. Now you give her Tiffy. Now. Should be facing Io. I'm just saying. Nothing wrong with my girl Tiffy. I'm just saying Julia and Io would have been way better at Mania. Whether Io wins the title or not, I wouldn't care. She don't need that belt either, by the way. But Io is going to face Asuka, and Kairi's going to turn on Asuka and join back up with Io, and they're going to go after the tag team belts. So the Sky Pirates will become the new tag team champions probably by the summertime. And Asuka, well, Asuka will probably try to get revenge on Kairi and Io through pretty much the rest of the spring and into the summer. Who knows what happens after that? I think in between, maybe Asuka goes after the World title. Maybe, because, well, I don't know, because Liv is going to have it, most likely at Mania. She's going to be Stephanie Vaquer. That's definite. But do you do Asuka? But do you do Asuka and Liv? Or what I would do is have Io win it from Liv, and then Asuka and Io go at it at SummerSlam. Or maybe Kairi wins it and then loses to Asuka, which I don't like. But still, it makes me happy. But Kairi wins the title, loses to Asuka, who then loses to Io. I mean, we'll see. That's that. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then, Jade Cargill, non-title match against Mia Yim. Boring as fuck. Mia Yim gets beat again. Jade wins with Jaded. That's it. And then she cuts a promo on Rhea Ripley, saying that I'm gonna beat you, and I'm always on top. Mommy Rhea Ripley comes out. Jade runs away, and then Mommy says at Mania, I'm gonna make you my bitch. Probably will, too. I think Mommy will win the title there. And then head to SmackDown. But we'll see. Alright. Then in the back, Cody tells Nick Aldis that the contract is fine. And then Sami Zayn comes in. They have another one of these freaking things where Sami is trying to get, either under Cody's skin or he's trying to give Cody a pep talk. I don't know what's going on with him. Cody is yelling at Sami. And Sami's yelling back at him. It's like, I respect Randy. I don't respect you. And Cody's like, oh, fine. I don't give a shit. Oh, you want a title shot so bad, you have to, I'll give it to you. But you gotta stop being an asshole. And then Sami, does what he does. Knocks over innocent fucking water bottles. He's like, fuck them! And then Aleister Black and his hot wife, Zelina Vega, come in, suggest that Sami get out of the title picture and focus on himself. And then Sami just, starts moving back from Aleister Black. See, Sami, you should have listened to Killer Kross the first time. Dumbass. And now, Sami, you should listen to Aleister Black. I'm just saying. Maybe it'll get you somewhere. But every freaking week, we gotta get Sami Zayn. Is he heel? Is he face? What's going on? Just turn him heel. Turn him heel. It'll be great. What I would do is have him cost Cody at Mania, give the belt to Randy, and then have Sami and Cody go at it for a couple months. Smart. You don't turn Cody at Mania. Well, they're thinking about doing a double turn. Well, can't even do a double turn now because what happened on SmackDown with Randy beating the fuck out of Cody. Loved it. But we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, we got that. Alright, then Rhea Ripley and B-Fab console Mia Yim. Doesn't really care, doesn't want the pity. Alright, get out of here then. She should really, I hate saying this to Mia Yim, because I've known her for years. Get out of WWE, because they're treating you like shit. Go to TNA, go back as Jade. Not that Jade, but, Jade in TNA. Or sit at home with your husband, Keith Lee, you don't know ever coming back to wrestling. Or go to AEW and see what Tony Khan could do for you there. Go back to Ring of Honor, hang out with Prince Nana. Princess Mia. Come back to the embassy. We'd love to have you, but it is what it is. Alright. Women's tag team titles on the line. Nia, Jax, and Lash Legend. Get shit done. Taking on Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Was a pretty good match. The Bella Sluts come out. They say, "Oh, we want the titles and everything." I'm like, "Shut up!" And then near the end of the match, Charlotte accidentally hits Nikki, and then they hits Natural Selection, and Lexi goes for Twisted Bliss. Brie Bella comes in, starts beating up Nia Jax for no apparent reason, causing disqualification. And then Nia and Lash beat the fuck out of them and the Bella Sluts. And then next week, we got the Bella Sluts in a tag team title match, I think, against Nia and Lash. I'm like, oh, come on. They're going to give the Bella Sluts the fucking belts at Mania for one final run, and nobody's going to give a fuck. I just hope Kyrie and Io win the belts from them. I don't want the Bella Sluts to hold it for 6 months and never defend it. Nobody will care. Alright, so anyway, after the match, after that, the Bellas run in to Charlotte and Lexi, who are next to the belts, apparently. I hope not, and I don't care. We move on. Jelly Roll was in Phoenix talking to, congratulating Randy Orton. He was there to see him. He's going to be on Miz TV. We get that. Poppy Priest and R-Truth beat Los Garzas in a pretty good 11-minute match. After hitting South of Heaven and the AA for stereo pins on the Garzas. So, Poppy Priest and R-Truth. The Dark Truth get the win over the Garzas. Decent match. Alex Shelley and Candice LeRae try to wake up Johnny Gargano, who's still laying down on the freaking crate. Candice leaves. Chris Sabin comes in and says, what the hell is going on here? Why are you still talking to Candice and Johnny? And Shelley's like, well, he's my friend, he's my mentor, stuff like that. And then Sabin's like, oh, well, we got a match next week against Fraxium. Joy! Because of the whole botch pin from last week. Anyway, moving on. Alright, then, Mr. Danhausen, I will curse you. He, tries to give Miz a shirt, and, try to, help, he wants to be with the Miz. Miz is like, I don't want to be with you. And then, well, what does Danhausen do? Curse! Curse on Miz. So we get to Miz TV. His mic doesn't work. Brings out Joey Roll, starts yelling at him, talking about his weight and everything. Talks about SummerSlam, when Miz basically had to carry him up and shit, and, stuff like that. And then Miz like, I liked you better when you were fat. So they're about to brawl, then Kit Wilson comes out, calls Jerry Roll toxic! And then Miz tries to deck Jerry Roll and pretty much decked Kit Wilson. And that's pretty much it. So then we get, next week we got Joey Roll, gonna be talking to Kit Wilson or something like that. Dumb. Moving on. So Mr. Danhausen's telling, Kit Wilson yells at the Miz, tries, blah, blah, blah. Danhausen comes in, offers Miz, some teeth. And Miz doesn't want to do that. And Mr. Danhausen's like, well, the only way to reverse the curse is to, is to follow me and everything. And Miz is like, there is no curse! And then he leaves. Danhausen's like, out of there. So, whatever. Alright, Apollo Crews and Ilya appreciate the, pep talk and everything. Carmelo Hayes comes in. Says he understands why what Ilya said last week about not wanting the open challenge. Dragunov says this is the only way that I know, that I don't want to do it. But Melo thinks there might be another reason to that, and Ilya's not happy about that. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, Tiffy Stratton meets up with Chelsea Green, wheels her off as she was doing a promo. Chelsea probably crashed into 16,000 crates. Poor her. And then she promises to take out Kiana James and then go for the women's title. So we get to the match. Tiffy wins with the prettiest moonsault ever after Julia kicked Kiana in the face by mistake. Oops. Alright, so we got that. And then next week, Kit Wilson calls on Joey Roll. That's that. Trick Willie somehow beat Jacob thanks to Drew McIntyre coming back. You knew he wasn't quitting. So then Nick Aldis makes a match between Jacob and Drew for next week. That's going to be brutal. Probably end in DQ and in chaos, but we'll see what happens with that. Then we go to the contract signing between Cody and Randy. They praise each other, and then Randy kicks Cody in the balls, hits him, smashes his head on the table, busts him wide open, and then he smashes him with a chair on the steel steps on the announce table. And then he sits in the ring with the title to end the show. That was crazy. Randy from 2009 is back, and I love it. That's that. Anyway, I gotta get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, 7.25 out of 10 stars for Smackdown. That's pretty much it. I'll be back a little bit later with your Revolution review on my Peter Joseph channel. But until next time, peace.